Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code Chapter 551. Would you all please rise and join Ms. Metoyer as she leads us in the invocation and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please pray with me. Lord, Heavenly Father, we come to you tonight with gratitude. Thank you, Lord, for each one meeting here. Thank you for all of your blessings upon our community and our schools. Thank you, Lord, for our students, our teachers, our staff members, our volunteers, and community members who work to make our district great. We ask, Lord, that you will bless each of us with your guidance and wisdom to make the right decisions for our students. And we ask, Lord, that you help us to provide for our ever-growing needs so that we can continue to produce graduates and future community members with character and integrity. And we ask that your will be done in all that we do. We ask these things in your precious Son's name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Alrighty then, moving on to the agenda. The first thing we have is the public hearing presentation on the 2014-2015 Texas Academic Performance Report.
Mr. Shaw?
Good evening, board members, Dr. Gilcrease, community members, and district staff. Tonight I have the opportunity to present a public hearing presentation on the district's annual report. The annual report includes the Texas Academic Performance Report, or TAPR for short, the PEIMS Financial Standard Report, the district accreditation status, campus performance objectives, report on violent or criminal incidents, student performance in post-secondary institutions. Just a reminder that all of the data included in the annual report are from previous years. No current information from this school year is included. To cover every piece of data in the annual report would require several hours, so we've shortened it a little bit for you tonight. We will use this time to review the contents of what actually is in each of these reports. Because of the annual report size, which is in paper format of over 180 pages, a complete report was not printed for the audience. Instead, a copy of the 2014-15 TAPR was made available because most of it contains the statistics that we'll cover. Remember that all information covered tonight will be available electronically on the district's webpage, or a paper version will be made available for review at each campus and then also at the district offices. So the first portion of the annual report is the 2014-15 TAPR, which is compiled by TEA for every district and campus using the PEIMS and student assessment data. On each report, there is a cover page, which includes the accountability rating, special education determined status, and any distinction designations if the campus or district received one. If you look at the TAPR, page 1 or page 3 of the annual report, this is where all of the data is located. There is some significant changes in reporting of STAR performance for the 2014-15 TAPR. In this report, STAR performance only includes the STAR Spanish grades 3 through 5, and STAR L. What is excluded from this report is all STAR accommodated, STAR alternate 2, and all math grades 3 through 8, because last year they had a revision of the TEKS. Also, this TAPR is a little bit unique because it only includes 1 year. Previous reports would require or have more than multiple years for comparison, but because of so many exclusions, it was omitted in this TAPR. So when looking at the student performance, it does summarize STAR performance based on subject and grade level or course. And it does show the phase-in satisfactory standard, which was level 2, phase 1 last year. It also summarizes STAR performance by subject for level 2 final, for advanced, which was level 3, for met or exceeded progress measure, exceeded progress measure, and it only includes the accountability for 2015. And these tests would include the summer 2014 EOCs, December 2014 EOCs, and then the spring 2015 EOCs and STAR 3 through 8 assessments. It also will only include students that were in our accountability subset. And where they get the accountability subset is all students in our district that were here on the last day of the last Friday of October 2015. If you notice, the STAR performance is reported for 13 student population groups. The district TAPR has a state comparison to the region to the district, and then 10 student groups. If you are looking at a campus TAPR, it has the state, the district, campus, and 10 student groups. To define what those 10 student groups are for district and campus reports, they do list the 7 race or ethnicity groups. They include special ed, economically disadvantaged, and our ELL students. Just to show you an example of a slide that would have all of the reports for reading and for math algebra 1. If you look up at the screen, this is our summary of reading for last year. That first column is the state average, followed by the region average, and then the district. And then the 10 student groups, which are the 7 ethnicities: special ed, economically disadvantaged, and ELL. And notice it is only for the year 2015. Here's a slide showing the district's math, which would have been algebra 1 only because they omitted math grades 3 through 8. Once again, you see the state, region, and district averages, followed by the ethnicities, special ed, economically disadvantaged, and ELL. Continuing in the report, if you look on page 3 of the TAPR or page 5 of the annual report, it also has our progress of prior year STAR failures. These are students that failed last year's STAR but this year passed. Also included is our Student Success Initiative, which states that students in grades 5 and 8 must pass their reading in order to be promoted to the next grade level. It is presented as students meeting level 2 phase-in 1 on the first administration, percent of students requiring the accelerated instruction, and then also the percent of STAR cumulative met standard, which would be the first and second administrations for reading last year. On pages 6 and 7 of the TAPR, pages 8 and 9 of the annual report, you'll see our bilingual education ESL performance measures. The first 3, once again, are the state, region 4, and district. The next 5 columns show the result of our bilingual program. The next 3 columns show our ESL program. And then the last three show the LEP students receiving no services, LEP students receiving services, and then total LEP ELL student averages. The indicators that are reported are the Level 2 phase-in passing standard from last year, Post-Secondary Readiness Standard, which is at Level 2 final, the Advanced Standard, which was Level 3, Met or exceeded progress measure, and then progress of prior year failures. The top of page 8 of the TAPR, page 10 of the annual report, you'll see our 2015 STAR participation. These are the amount of students in our district by percentage that took a STAR test, and the percent that did not test, and then of those that tested, the percent included in our accountability ratings. The top of page 9 on the on the TAPR, page 11 of the annual report, shows our attendance rate, our annual dropout for junior high, grades 7 and 8, and our dropout rates for the high school, grades 9 through 12. And if you notice, these were reported for 2013-14 and 2012-13, which was the most recent years for which TEA reported the data. Continuing, you will also see a 4-year graduation rate, a 5-year extended graduation rate, and a 6-year extended graduation rate for the district, a 4-year and a 5-year federal graduation rate, and then our recommended and distinguished achievement program graduates, longitudinal and annual rate. And then the bottom of page 10, the top of page 11, in your TAPR, page 12 and 13 of the annual report, you'll see our advanced course dual enrollment completion for juniors and seniors. And then at the top of page 11, you'll see it for grades 9 through 12. Continuing on, you'll see our college-ready graduates for the class of 2014-2013, which was based on tax results, ACT scores, and SAT scores. You'll also see the college and career-ready graduates from the class of 2014, which had 3 criteria. One was meeting the TSI in both reading and math, or earning credit for at least 2 advanced dual credit courses in 2012, 2013, or 2013 or 2014, or enrolling in a coherent sequence of CTE courses as part of a 4-year plan of study. Next, you'll see our advanced placement results, followed by our SAT, ACT results, then our graduates enrolled in Texas institutions of higher education, and our graduates in Texas institutions of higher education completing 1 year without remediation. That completes the student performance portion. Part 5, which is on the top of page 14 in your TAPR, or page 16 in the annual report. This starts the student and staff profiles. At the top, you will see that as of this report date, there were 20,757 students, which we've grown by 1,477 since this was reported. You also see that the student breakdown by grade, ethnic distribution for the district, students that were identified as economically disadvantaged or non-economically disadvantaged, ELL learners, students with disciplinary placements, and at risk. Also included is our graduates by ethnicity and graduation types. our data quality, and at the bottom of page 15, class size information. On the top of the next page, you'll see our staff information, which gives the total staff in our district. Breaking it down by our professional, aides, and auxiliary, our ethnicity and gender, the highest degree held, and years of experience. You also see the number of students per teacher ratio, average years of experience, average teacher salary and average actual salaries, our instructional staff percent and turnover rate, and then on the very back, last page, page 18 of your TAPR, page 20 of the annual report, you'll see our student enrollment by program, and then our teachers by program. Section 2 of the annual report is our PEIMS Financial Standard Report. If you notice on the screen, it is from 2013-2014. If you realize we are in 2015-2016, so this is several years old. I know Susan Wilson and her department do a wonderful job of updating you on the most current reports, but this is the latest that TEA has released. In it, you'll find receipts, fund balances, disbursements, program expenditures, tax rates, 2012 tax rate state certified property values, and then the percent of total budgeted expenditures. For each campus, there is also a PEIMS Financial Standard Report, which breaks down expenditures by object, by function, and then program expenditures by each program. Section 3 of the annual report is our district accreditation status. So each year, TEA assigns one of 4 accreditation statuses to each district in the state. You can either be accredited, accredited WARN, accredited probation, not accredited revoked. In order to determine one of these 4 ratings, the state uses academic accountability ratings, financial accountability ratings, data integrity, program area deficiencies identified through PEIMS. Happy to report that our status last year was accredited, as it's always been. Section 4 of the annual report is the campus performance objectives. By Texas Educational Code, each campus has developed and is implementing a campus improvement plan. Each campus improvement plan includes performance objectives based on data analysis and needs assessment. And then each campus periodically measures progress towards its performance objectives. The campus projectives that are included in the annual report was approved by the board back in December of 2015. And the campus improvement plans are posted on the district's website and will be available for review at the district central office or on each campus. The 5th section of the annual report. Per educational code, each district has to publish, as part of its annual report, a report on violent and criminal incidences in the district. The report must include the number, rate, and type of violent or criminal incidences that occurred. And the district's report for the 2015 school year is available for review at the district office or at each campus, or is also posted to the website. The 6th required portion of the annual report is our student performance in post-secondary institutions. Also, per educational code, it requires each district to publish as part of a report the amount of student performance in post-secondary institutions during the first year enrolled after graduation from high school. These data are compiled by the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board. And the most current report is for the 2012-2013 high school graduates. Something that is optional and we did include in the annual report is the glossary for the TAPR, which provides definitions, describes methodologies, or how to calculate some of the reports in here, and lists sources for each data point in the TAPR. A Spanish translation of the TAPR glossary has been released in January and will be posted to the website with the other annual report PDFs. As far as resources, this annual report must be posted to the district's website within 2 weeks. It's actually posted currently tonight, so any of you that want to get to it, you can at this point. If anybody wants a paper copy, you can request that at the district office, or if you would wish to review it, you can request it at different district office or also at each campus. If you wish to request it, you can request it through me. Phone number 281-245-2515, or email bshaw@alvinisd.net. And that was 180 pages, pretty quick. Any questions?
Does the board have any questions? Well, thank you very much for this wonderful compilation of work, and we appreciate the diligence of putting this together, and it's in a wonderful format this year. We
Thank you.
appreciate that.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Let me ask a quick question. All right.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yes, sir.
I was looking at the writing scores, and it seems like they've kind of dropped. Is there a reason for that?
As far as
I mean,
just in general,
yes. Is it harder now, or?
when they revamped and went to the STAR, they did raise the rigor and the relevance to the test. So it is a more difficult test than what we've seen in the past as far as tax. It is something that we have identified not only in our district plan, but also in our campus plans. And so we are looking at those scores and reviewing our processes to hopefully be able to raise those scores in the future.
Jenna? Okay.
Yes, go ahead, please.
So the writing exam is one of those tests that in reality is a very weak test. As the state, and I think the state has recognized the weakness in that on average it is graded in 20 seconds or less, the writing sample. If you take the number of graders that the state hires, the number of exams that they grade, on average they would get 20 seconds per student's exam to evaluate that. And I can't read that fast personally.
And
so
that kind of what I was going, is that like, I don't know because I haven't taken a test, and I'd hate to have to take a test, but is that writing test, is that kind of like they give you a subject or lead and then you write something on that and then it's left up to whoever grades its interpretation, kind of?
correct, and you only have 26 lines to do it.
Okay.
You can't go any more than 26 lines, or that doesn't count. Anything you write past the 26th line, whether it's good or not, doesn't get graded. The state has recognized the deficiencies in our writing exam, passed a bill in the last legislative session that has a pilot program for a small, medium, and large size school district to implement a more comprehensive writing program to pilot that for looking at use in the future. It is also working in conjunction with the Commission on Next Generation Assessments and Accountability that is working right now to look at the reliability of our test in general, and then more specifically how it is that we look at the results of those tests. And then lastly, I know that our curriculum department within the district has many things that they're working on right now to make sure that our kids are able to write appropriately. And so that does not always equate to 26 lines. Those are two different concepts there.
Thank you.
I'll get off my soapbox.
You're fine. All righty then, Mr. Combs, I think the next portion of the agenda is for you for the introduction of the greeters and then the commendations.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. February is Career and Technical Education Month, which provides us an opportunity to celebrate our students, our staff, as well as the achievements and accomplishments earned in our various programs over the course of the past year. Career and Technical Education aims to develop foundational skills, core workplace competencies, and specific skill competencies in various occupational areas. And these will assist our students becoming college and career ready upon graduation. This evening, we have with us a number of student leaders from various Alvin ISD CTE programs joining behind me, and they were here to greet you as you enter the board meeting this evening. And they're here also to share a few words, so now I'd like to invite each student forward to introduce themselves, share which program that they are a part of, and then they have a presentation for our trustees this evening. So who's up first?
Hi, my name is Megan Rousey, and I'm with Alvin High School HOSA.
Hi, my name is Drew Griffin, and I'm representing Alvin High School's audiovisual department.
Hi, my name is Andrew Schumann. I'm from Skills USA chapter of Alvin High School.
Hi, I'm Adrian Hosso, and I'm with DECA.
Hi, my name is Leslie Salinas, and I am from Anvil High School through FCCLA.
Howdy, I'm Kate Kettler, and I'm with Manville FFA.
Hi, my name is Michael Short. I'm representing DECA from Manville High School.
Hello, my name is Irving Perez, and I'm here to represent DECA.
Hello, my name is Leanne Tai, and I am from Hamel High School as a senior. I am current president of HOSA, Health Occupation Students of America, at the school. For those who don't know, this month is CTE month, and for the CTE month, it is a public campaign to raise awareness to the program throughout the entire country during the month of February. It celebrates the achievements and the accomplishments of the students throughout this entire month, and the theme of this year's month is Opportunities for Career Success, which allows students to share their stories of success due to this program. For me personally, I am involved in the health science classes. For example, one class is dual credit anatomy and physiology. In these classes, it helped lay a great foundation for the healthcare field. And through this class, I'm able to apply everything I learned in these classes later on in my college or professional career. As a program, we are truly grateful for the board and your continuous support to this program for our teachers, students, and classes. Your investment into this program is in turn a direct investment to our future, and we are truly grateful.
Hello, I am Alejandro Moreno, and I attend Alvin High School, and I also go to the CTE facility. Me and my class from construction have made these gifts as a token of the appreciation of all y'all, what y'all have done for our facility. Parts from our facility have also incorporated their own little piece into these gifts. Thank you.
And Trustee Humbert, as I was standing there watching them get ready, I did notice that there is a gift certificate to allow you to get some cosmetology services done at the Career Technical Education Center. So pay special attention to that, please.
Thank you so much.
All right, how about a round of applause for these guys one more time?
Good job, guys.
And this evening we have a number of commendations as well. First, we would like to invite Thomas Villarreal of Walt Disney Elementary to come forward. And Thomas, a round of applause for Thomas. I think you will be impressed to know that he won a $1,000 scholarship for growing an oversized cabbage that placed first in the state of Texas. Thomas' cabbage weighed 14 pounds. Yeah, I think that deserves a round of applause. Principal Tribble has come forward to get a picture, but Principal Tribble, he will bring the coleslaw to the next Disney picnic. He will take care of that. It is unbelievable. In addition to receiving the commendation from our Board of Trustees, Mr. Jim Grant of Bonnie Plants is also here to present an award to Thomas for his accomplishment. And as he comes forward, I think you'll know that there's a $1,000 scholarship written on that check. So congratulations, Thomas. All right, thank y'all so much for joining us this evening. Congratulations, Thomas. Alvin ISD's Fine Arts program produced another big win when the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo officials selected 8 students to showcase their artwork at this year's rodeo. The committee, which consisted of 20 judges, viewed 638 pieces of artwork produced by talented Alvin ISD students from grades K through 12. The winning artwork will be on display at the Houston Livestock Show Rodeo's Hayloft Gallery at NRG Stadium from March 1st through 20th. So when you go to the rodeo, make sure you look for our students' incredible artwork. These students also received accolades at our recent Alvin ISD Rodeo Art Show. And first up, we have with a Best of Show, Ryan Duncan, 3rd grader from Red Duke Elementary. Congratulations to Ryan, and he is under the direction of teacher Melinda LaBeouf. Next, we have Jessica Mouton, who's an 8th grader at Nolan Ryan Junior High, under the direction of teacher Amy Gardzell. Congratulations, Jessica. Next, we have Anna Chimplael from Manville High School, a 10th grader who's under the direction of Courtney Worden. And these first 3 students received all the designation Best in Show at the Alvin ISD Rodeo Art Show. Next, we have some gold medal winners to announce to you. We have Amanda Jett, who's a 5th grader at Longfellow Elementary. And Amanda is under the direction of teacher Lynette Lecomte. Next, we have Amy Dong-Chu, who is an 8th grader at Nolan Ryan Junior High, under the direction of teacher Amy Gardzell. Next, we have Laura Dennison, who is an 11th grader from Manville High School, under the direction of teacher Vicki Satterwhite. Next, Cloville Napata, who's a 12th grader at Manville High School, also under the direction of Vicki Satterwhite. And we also are recognizing this evening a special merit winner, Shofan Zhu, 9th grader at Manville High School. I don't believe Shofan was able to join us, but they're under the direction of Megan Anderson. So congratulations again to all of our students for their accomplishment. And parents, make sure you get all the pictures that you need. Don't be shy. We can wait and let you, this is what you're here for tonight. All right, well, congratulations again to all of our students. Outstanding work. We look forward to seeing your artwork on display at the rodeo. And those are our accommodations for the evening. Congratulations, students.
Okay, moving on with the agenda. Next on the list is the open forum. And we do have one individual who has filled out the form to speak. Let's see here. So they filled it out and they've turned it into the superintendent's secretary prior to the meeting, according to policy BED local. After I call your name, please come to the podium and state your name and address for the purpose of addressing the board. Please understand that you will have 5 minutes to speak. And if there are 5 or more people that wish to speak on the same issue, please select one individual to be the spokesperson. The public participation portion of the board meeting shall not exceed 30 minutes. I respectfully ask that you make no derogatory statement about any board member, student, or employee of the school district. And I ask that you also understand that the board cannot take action on your request or comment at this time. However, the president or designee may refer the request to the superintendent for review. So this evening, Ms. Melissa Graham has completed a form. Would you please come forward?
I'm here on behalf of Waterside Landing, and our kids are currently zoned to Glen York Elementary School. And in 2017, 2018, they will be rezoned to Elementary 17. Currently, to get to this school, well, it's not built yet, but currently we'd have to cross Clear Lake Loop with no four-way stop, no crossing walk, and no crossing guard. And the safety of our kids is very important to us, obviously. So we'd like to ask the board to reconsider keeping our kids at Glen York Elementary School as opposed to them being zoned to Elementary 17. Currently, there are 27 students that are zoned to York, and I don't know if that will make or break the, capita or whatever the. So please consider keeping our kids at York, and thank you for your time.
Thank you very much. Then moving on, we have a presentation next, the schematic design of the district stadium. I believe Mr. Miller is going to do that for us.
Yes, thank you. The 2015 bond election that was just recently passed included work at both of our stadiums, the new district stadium planned on the off of the 288 corridor, and Memorial Stadium. It's noteworthy that last night we had a great meeting with a steering committee of over 40 community members on Memorial Stadium as we're working through the dynamics of what the essential elements for Memorial Stadium need to be as we're planning construction. But for tonight, the presentation for the most part is on the district stadium, which we bring to you to again give you an overview of what the scope of the district stadium is to include. It'll be a 10,000 seat stadium capable of expanding to 12,000. The lower seating portion of the stadium actually will be supported by earth berm with concrete. The upper seating will be steel and aluminum bleacher sets. There is no track at the new district stadium. The track events, varsity track events, will be hosted at each of our high schools who have venues appropriate and excellent for varsity level and district track meets. The stadium will be able to host soccer, football, and band performing arts events and competitions. It will include a press box, field house that also has accommodations for officials, It will have an alumni room, and we're planning for the district athletic offices to be hosted also or held out at the new district stadium. This particular site will also have developed on it a satellite transportation center and have some future space for some additional expansion and development as the district moves forward in the near future. And so this again gives you a location of the proximity of where the actual proposed location is out here off of 288 corridor. It's just in the southern south of the Meridiana development in the city of Iowa Colony. Again, what's significant about this is the major thoroughfares that surround our district that give quick and easy access to this particular location. Coming up Highway 6 to 288, future Grand Parkway that'll be coming in down here, and of course 35. It creates a major significant thoroughfare loop around our district that all feeds back to the proposed stadium site. So here you see actual layout of the 95 acres that we're looking at purchasing. We've been working through some of the challenges with the local authorities, including the Drainage District, the City of Iowa Colony, TxDOT, and we're trying to enlist anybody and everybody who will have a part in this as a partner on this, including the Commissioner's Court. So you see here, the stadium is situated here pretty much in the center of the 95 acres. Detention's on the east side, adjacent to Chocolate Bio, which is over here. This is Iowa Colony Boulevard that going north hits Meridiana and actually passes right next to our Meridiana Elementary that's opening this summer. Down here at this intersection, it is County Road, intersects with County Road 64. To the left or west, 288 is over here. County Road 64 is significant because as it develops out in the near future, it actually comes around to the east and intercepts Masters Road and brings you back to Highway 6 in Manville. So the potential for access and mobility for this stadium site is great, and that was one of the significant elements of this site that led us to this piece of property. The two elements that you see over here on the left side are future expansion as the district chooses, if and when. Those were not funded by the bond election. There will be available land space for a footprint for a future fine arts center and an auditorium if and when the district chooses to do so. This is a bird's eye view of the stadium from the northeast, northeast actually. And so what you see here, to give you some identification, this out here is the intersection of County Road 64 and Iowa Colony Boulevard, with 288 being back out this direction to give you your bearings. This would be the home side with the press box, a two-story press box. Visitor side over here. This particular element here is the locker rooms and district athletic offices. This piece here is the alumni center. So let me show you and delve a little bit deeper into the concourse and the press box and show you a little bit of the detail of that. Again, the concourse and what we're going to explore for just a second is this area here. This would be the home side with the press box. So we want to take a look at some of the detail there. This shows accessibility coming off the parking lot. You'd go through the plaza where the ticket sales would be, and it shows the pedestrian pathways to get up onto the concourse as you're accessing and coming into the stadium. Here you see those elements that would, once you get on the concourse, concession stands, some basic storage. You see the significant count for men's and women's restrooms, which is a great thing at a stadium for 10,000. This actually builds out the restroom count for the men's at 12,000, but because the women's is on the outside edge, this allows us to expand when we move to 12,000 and expand the restroom count for the women's. This here, over here, is the footprint for the elevator that goes up to the press box. Very similar with the elimination of an elevator over on the visitors concourse, as you see. This is the first floor of the press box. And so the access to the press box will be via the elevator that I identified down on the concourse level, or up through the stands and through these steps onto the first level. These stairways back here actually serve to get you from the first floor of the press box up to the second floor, or again, the elevator will have a stop that goes to the second floor of the press box. Essential elements of a press box are all included here, to include home and visitors' coaches spaces. It includes a place for scouts. It includes the timer and the PA announcer. It includes some space for media. Includes a little bit of an area back here to be able to host a little bit of food, and also the restrooms that would serve those folks who are here on the first floor. Excuse me just a second, because relevant is this film deck. This film deck is something that will be used significantly, and it'll be a great amenity for the band and the drill teams as well to be able to film and observe halftime. The second floor of the press box includes a place for the video board operators. It includes media and broadcast area, designated area. It includes a couple of flex spaces that, again, the halftime and performing and arts and the band folks would have a venue and a place to be able to set up and watch and view halftime and pregame the students that we have involved. Multi-purpose room, an area that can flex and become whatever we need depending upon the size of the event, the size of the game, and who we need to be able to give access into the press box. So to give you a little bit deeper view of the field house and the alumni center, again, the location of the field house is here on at this point of the stadium on the north side. And so you see that it has dressing rooms for both the visitors and the home team. In the center of it is the district athletic offices. It allows access from over here where we have some bus parking for, as the players arrive, they can come into the front side of this individually. Each team's access is separated. We have an element right here that's a hallway. It's not overdone. It's a short hallway out to the field area. And what's significant about it is that it provides an opportunity for a low expense, but a great opportunity as the kids are leaving and exiting, players to go to the field with some minimal expense, lettering, spirit talk, a little bit of light and illumination. It can be something that as they're headed to the field, it creates that enthusiasm and spirit and gets them pumped up and excited as they exit the field house. So the Alumni Center, to address and talk and describe it a little bit, you see here the Alumni Center originally was planned as 300 seats. In studying, it's been determined that the district would be better served with 500 seats because we have quite a number of events that actually justify and need up to 500 seats. So we've expanded the size of the Alumni Center. With that also, and talking with a number of other districts who have a similar center, some of them didn't have a lobby. A lobby area allows folks to come in, to sign in, to distribute. If it's a learning center and we're using it for staff development, to be able to obtain whatever it is that you need before you go inside, for there to be some talk and congregation visiting out there before you get into the Alumni Center, if it was a quiet zone for studying or for some type of teaching element. And so we've added a lobby as well, and that increased square footage for the Alumni Center somewhat. And so the wall between the lobby and the Alumni Center is a great opportunity, again, for us to have a presentation board or awards. It creates an enhancement to the opportunity of the Alumni Center. The wall's there, and so by using some color, it may not be to this extent, we can show some of the awards, some of the merit of the school district, and again, present who we are and identify some of our accomplishments on that particular wall as you go in there. So identification of this stadium is important. And so as we all know, when we are a high school, but any venue that has assembly and has a large crowd coming to it needs its own identity. It needs to stand out. And of course, you know, if you're driving up to a stadium, NRG, Kyle Field, Royal Stadium, Minute Maid Park, any of those, from a distance, you understand what it is. You see it, you know, you're drawn to it. And so that's an important aspect as we go forward. So this is what those larger venues and pros and colleges are looking for. And of course, we're not going to that level, but what they're trying to accomplish with the look from a distance is still significant. At a high school level, we think this is the energy, this is the labeling that our district stadium would have. This is from the direction of 288. You would see our two-story press box. You'd see the back side of the home side of our stadium. You see that, again, this concourse level right here that I was speaking to earlier is supported by earth berms, which is a great and inexpensive way in order to be able to support those bleachers. And so these ramps ramp up to it. Simple masonry walls help hide those ramps and dress them up. These areas here are actually perforated panels. I'm going to speak a little bit to those in just a minute. Again, those are everything you see here. All the elements of construction here are low expense, not over the top. It's elements, it's masonry, it's using earth, it's using ramps, it's using some concrete, it's using some perforated metal panels. As you see, this is another look at those perforated metal panels. They create quite an enhancement to our ability to identify the stadium in a great way. And so slides coming up will show that. This is the actual elevation of the locker room and the athletic offices for the district. You see that, again, we've utilized some of these perforated panels to identify our high schools with room for our future high schools to come. This is a front elevation, again, with a graphic to identify our school district, as you would see coming up to the Alumni Center. And so lighting is a low-cost way to create enhancements at certain venues. That's the significance of this particular slide. This is not Alvin ISD. This is not Alvin ISD, but you see the effects of lighting. This is Alvin ISD, and what we want to show you here is that those perforated panels, illuminated, can help create, on one side, the colors of the school, that is the home side, and on the other side, the colors of the visiting team as well. So that because with multiple high schools in our district, on any Friday night, any particular high school in Alvin ISD may be on the home side or they may be on the visitor side. And so as you come up, you'll be able to see who you are by the identity of backlighting these perforated metal panels. And so if you were Shadow Creek High School, you would be drawn to the area where we have your school colors portrayed, or an orange color for Alvin, or this is not, we don't have purple, but Manville High School would have their color lights also. So low expense, high output, great look, and great appeal for not significant expense. So again, at nighttime, the same would hold true for the locker rooms. We would cascade some light on those to identify which is which. Our schedule right now is that we are working in schematic design. Bidding on the current schedule would happen in August. We are working through a significant certain things that we need to test and get approvals with the authorities having jurisdiction for how we drain the site and get utilities there and a number of those things. And so if all of that goes smooth, this is the schedule that we're working to, with substantial completion in the spring of 2018. Any questions?
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
So Pat, I was impressed that there was a Longhorn emblem in there in your presentation in the middle, And then we got to Kyle Field at the end, so I realized that, yeah.
Gotta have it, have it in.
Well, I'm a man for all seasons, so I didn't want anybody to leave with hurt feelings.
I got it. Thank you.
Anybody has a shout out for TCU or? Go for it.
It's extraordinary, and thank you. All right, then, moving right along, I believe we're at the consent agenda portion of our agenda. And so we have 10 consent agenda items. Are there any that any member would like to pull? Actually, they moved it down to 10. They made it its own.
Okay.
Okay, so I believe hearing none, no consent agenda items to be pulled. Do I hear a motion to approve consent agenda items A through J?
So moved.
First by Ms. Metoyer. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Winterstrom. Okay, then, all in favor of approving consent agenda items A through J? Motion carries 6-0. And I'm sorry, I did not back up. Ms. Scheibel is not with us tonight. She had a slight mishap today and extends her apologies for not being here. So I just wanted to let you know that she's so sorry she couldn't be here. All right, then, moving on to number 10, which is the request to consider approval of donation.
Board, our Anna Passarella, our family engagement coordinator, has been working on a great idea for a mobile library or reading bus program. She approached our Education Foundation with this, and the foundation generously decided to donate $10,000 towards that. So I think it'd be our pleasure to accept that donation.
All righty then. Do I hear a motion for the board to approve the Education Foundation donation of $10,000 to the Reading Bus program?
So moved.
First by Ms. Pickering. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Humbert. Are there any questions or comments?
Can we give, is it all right if they give a little example of what this is actually gonna be?
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yes, we acquired, the transportation department was donated, not donated, let us use a bus that is not being used right now for any route, but that is in a perfect condition. We are renovating this bus transform it into a library. We'll have shelf inside with books that the kids will be able to
Fantastic. I think it's just going to have such a great impact on the students and the families of our district. Thank you for doing that, and thank you for the Education Foundation for the donation of $10,000. So are there any other comments? All right, then, so we've had discussion, so we need to take a vote. All in favor of approving the Education Foundation donation of $10,000 to the Reading Bus Program? All right, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you, Board.
Next on the agenda is a request to consider approval of calling the trustee election and schedule election dates.
Every year, Board, it's our duty to call for this election, and this year that election date is Saturday, May 7th, 2016.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for the board to approve calling the election on May 7th, 2016 for trustee positions 4 and 5 and approve the election dates, time, and place?
So moved.
First by Ms. Winterstrom. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Montoya. Thank you. Is there any questions or comments? All right, then, hearing none. All in favor of approving to call an election on May 7th, 2016 for trustee positions 4 and 5 and approve the election dates, time, and places? Motion carries 6-0. Alrighty. Next on the agenda is the request to consider, what are we doing? Okay, thank you. The request to consider approval of a county-wide joint election.
If that election does occur in May, we will do that in conjunction with Brazoria County. And last year was the 9th year that the county conducted the election for the May general election, and it is a very efficient and cost-saving measure for us.
Thanks. Do I hear a motion for the board to approve a county-wide joint election to be conducted by Brazoria County?
So moved.
First by Ms. Pickren. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Tonini. Thank you. Is there any questions or comments? All right, then, hearing none. All in favor of approving a county-wide joint election to be conducted by Brazoria County? Motion carries 6-0. Moving forward is the request to consider approval of the academic calendar for the 2016-2017 school year.
Every year, Board, is our duty to adopt that calendar for the following school year. And this year, we've had a little change in the process of how that has occurred. So I think Mr. Shaw is here, who works with with me and Ms. Butler and Mr. Roberts on the DEIC committee, and so I believe they have a presentation to make.
Alrighty.
With me tonight, we have Mrs. Gabby ISD, who is a Wilder parent. We also have Mrs. Misty Kettler, who's a 5th grade Passmore teacher. Just a little bit about the process that we did, and there were several of us that went as resources, but the DEIC created this calendar over the last 5 months and 4 meetings. The DEIC committee was made up of 75 individuals that were teachers, that were parents, and that were community members. And it really was a pleasure to watch Dr. Gilcrease take them through the process and for giving them homework and having them come back and report on what they found out through the community, through the staff. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Mrs. ISD and let her just kind of, as a parent, let her talk about her experience.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Again, I'm Gabby ISD. I'm a parent at Wilder Elementary, and we just had sat in a room and had several discussions, and we kind of went back and forth on the calendar, the dates, and we shifted here, shifted there, figure out what works best with the time allotted for the days of the year. And we all went out to our schools. I talked to a lot of parents, at our PTO meetings, asked them their feedback, and then on the schedule, for example, if they wanted to, extend the year past Memorial Day, or if they wanted to end the year prior to Memorial Day. Most parents wanted to end it prior to Memorial Day because they wanted to start their summer vacation. So we took all that we all got from our different schools and came back and made the decision on how to create the schedule. And so it was it was more input than just the 75 of us. It was 75 then times other people. Any questions?
I'm not going to use a microphone because I'm very loud. So as a teacher, it was kind of an interesting process for me. I've never actually served on the DEIC committee. And in the past, in case you don't know, we've always been presented with 3 calendars. You know, just a couple days here and there, you get to vote, whatever. Not a whole lot of difference. We'd all get together and say, oh, which one's the best? Which one has this day off? Pick it, right? This was a blank calendar. The committee itself formed the calendar. Now there's things you can't change when Christmas is, New Year's, Thanksgiving, the start date of the school, you know, which is set for us. But as far as our teacher work days, the end date, we surveyed our community, we surveyed our parents, the teachers, the staff that we come into contact with to see what they like. I personally created a Google form for people to fill out. I had over 480 something responses, you know, which took into account, like she said, the hot topic is what day we get out of school. You know, everybody wants out for that last holiday. And so we came back to the DEIC committee and we would kind of hash out and discuss what's best for us, what's best for students. And we came up with what I think is a pretty decent calendar. It's great for the kids, it's great for the teachers. There's a couple of floating work days for teachers, which gives us a little bit of choice in when we come to set up our classroom for the school year. Also with our work days, they're kind of spread out a little bit. It's a very interesting calendar. It's a little bit different than what we've seen in the past, and I'm sure next year the EIC committee can take what we've done and then only make that better. Questions for me?
Well, thanks, guys. We appreciate that. We'll go in, unless you have something to add.
So I'm just asking you guys as representatives of those committees, do you feel like this is a good recommendation from our community as to a school calendar?
Absolutely. I think you, speaking as a parent, probably have better insight. I'm a parent also, but as a teacher, I'm a little bit vested in one side. But I think we did survey our population. I think a lot of people had input. A lot of the parents spoke up. They didn't understand what a staff work day is versus a professional development day. So we got to explain a lot of those things to the parents and our community. So I think, you know, overall, I think we're gonna make everybody happy. That's for sure. But we can make a large majority of people happy. I think.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you for your time.
It's a great way to go about it. Okay, so then do I hear a motion then for the Board of Trustees to approve the 2016, 2017 Alvin ISD school calendar as presented?
I'll make a motion.
All right, thank you, Ms. Tanini. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Winterstrom. We've had lots of input. Thank you so much. Is there any questions or discussion? All right, then, hearing none, all in favor to approve the 2016-2017 Alvin ISD school calendar as presented? Motion carries 6-0. All right, next on the agenda is a request to consider approval of School Boundary Advisory Committee's recommendation for Plan 1, Fall of 2016, and Plan 2, Fall of 2017, elementary attendance boundaries.
Board, if you'll remember back to our January board meeting, the committee presented their findings to us on that day. There has been several questions raised since that because those findings were posted on the website for public comments. At this time, Mr. Wells has any additional information that we need to do that, but the committee as a whole, after communication with them today, stand behind their recommendation?
No, sir, other than the waterside landing that were addressed earlier in the board meeting, those are the only comments we received. Their concerns addressed relationships in the schools, the work that they put into York Elementary and wanting to remain there, to safety issues with sidewalks, leading to that they can stay on sidewalks going around to York Elementary. And at this time, there's not without crossing Clear Lake Loop, there's not a continuous sidewalk over to the new elementary 17.
So does the committee receive these questions that have been raised through?
Yes, sir. I received basically four residents from Waterside Landing sent me responses, or sent me concerns about the rezoning of them to York.
And so, has the committee's recommendation changed at all at this point?
No, sir. I've heard from a few. I put this out a little over a week ago to the committee. I got a couple of responses from the committee. They also acknowledged the safety concern. Felt like there may be ways to address those safety concerns. I know that I've spoken to Mr. Abney regarding the sidewalks. He is in communication as we speak with the city of Pearland, and the developers would be included in that. He recently told me that they've received grant money to build new sidewalks. That's one of his recommendations to the city, is to put a sidewalk between those two streets.
So at this point, our recommendation is going to be that we adopt the recommendation of the SBAC. If there are needs that come up after that, we can always adjust boundary lines at a future date. But at this point, I think it's important to get the entirety of the map done, and then if we need to continue to address specific issues, you know, if say the city of Pearland doesn't follow through with how that operates or looks, then we may be bringing back adjustments like we do always. I mean, it's an ongoing thing.
It's an ongoing process. Thank you very much. All right then, do I hear a motion to approve the School Boundary Advisory Committee Administrative Plan 1 for Fall 2017 and Plan 2 Fall 2017?
So moved.
First by Ms. Metoyer, is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Tanini. Is there any questions or comments? All right, then hearing none, all in favor to approve the School Boundary Advisory Committee School Boundary Advisory Committee Administrative Plan 1 Fall 2016 and Plan 2 Fall 2017. Motion carries 6-0.
And we will continue to work on that specific issue to make sure that those needs are addressed. And if there is a need to come back, we will be glad to come back.
Thank you. All right, next on the agenda is a request to consider approval of contract consultant proposal with K-12 Insight.
Our tri-annual contract it's our annual contract that rolls for 3 years is with K-12 Insight is up for renewal at this point. It does exceed the money limit requiring board approval. At this time also, you see in there the additional information in your package. There's multiple things that this company does for us, but one of the main things that the Let's Talk platform has proved to be an efficient means of having communication with our community. So our recommendation is that we approve this contract.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for the board to approve the K-12 Insight Contract Consultant Proposal?
So moved.
First by Ms. Winterstrom. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Pickren. Are there questions or comments? All right, then hearing none, all in favor of approving the K-12 Insight Contract Consultant Proposal? Motion carries 6-0. All right, next on the agenda is a request to consider approval of award of the guaranteed maximum price for the Career and Technical Education Center Phase 2.
Board, the competitive proposals were received from subcontractors for the construction of Phase 2 at the CTE Center. Gamma Construction has submitted a guaranteed maximum price amount not to exceed $32,574,142. It would give, with the approval of this guaranteed maximum price amendment and the issuance of the final building permit, they will let us maintain our original scheduled completion for the summer of 2017.
All righty. Do I hear a motion for the board to approve the construction manager at risk amendment for construction of the Career and Technical Education Center Phase 2 awarded to Gamma Construction and authorize the superintendent or his designee to negotiate and execute the final contract document?
So moved.
First by Ms. Winterstrom. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Ms. Tanini. Thank you. Is there any questions or comments? All right, then hearing none, All in favor of approving the construction manager at risk amendment for construction of the Career and Technical Education Center Phase 2, awarded to Gamma Construction, and authorize the superintendent or his designee to negotiate and execute the final contract document. All right, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you, Board.
Next on the agenda is a request to consider approval of construction manager at risk contract delivery method for the Alvin High School Memorial Stadium and Edwards Auditorium renovation project.
Board, the last one we went were competitive sealed bids, and this time we're recommended construction manager at risk for the AHS Memorial Stadium and Edwards Auditorium renovations. We feel that this is the most favorable project contract delivery method for this construction.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for the board to approve the construction manager at risk contract delivery method for all phases of construction for the Memorial Stadium and Marguerite Edwards Auditorium renovation projects?
So moved.
First by Ms. Pickren. Is there a second down there? Thank you, Mr. Humberg. Are there questions or comments? All right, hearing none then, all in favor of approving the construction manager at risk contract delivery method for all phases of construction for the Memorial Stadium and Marguerite Edwards Auditorium renovation projects? All right, motion carries 6-0.
Thank you, Board.
All right then, so during the course of a board meeting, the Board of Trustees can go into closed or executive session, and we're going to do that right now. We're going to adjourn into executive session pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act 551.074, which is to discuss personnel or hear complaints against personnel. We will return to take action, I believe. All right, thank you, everybody. We're now back in open session, and we are moving on to agenda item number 18, which is the request to consider employment.
Board, in your packet, you see consideration to employ these personnel. There's several teachers and other members in there. I think they're all teachers on there.
I think so.
Our recommendation is that we
Counselor.
hire these requested personnel units.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the requested personnel items as presented?
So moved.
Thank you. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by, who seconded first?
I did.
Ms. Tanini, all righty. All right, is there any questions or comments? Hearing none then, all in favor to approve the requested personnel items as presented? Motion carries 6-0. All right, number 19, which is the request.
Who made the first?
The first?
Yeah. Who moved it? Tiffany. No, I didn't. That was Julie. Julie. Okay.
All right, number 18, the request to consider, 19, request to consider 2 additional staffing positions for the police department for the 2015-2016 school year.
Chief Putnell has come to us in anticipation of opening a 3rd high school next year and offer these 2 additional officer positions. I believe he still holds the right to ask for 1 more after this one if he gets to, if his numbers say that. So is that correct, Chief? Yes, sir. Absolutely. So our recommendation is that at this point we approve these 2 additional police officers.
All right, do I hear a motion to approve the additional lead officer and elementary patrol positions for 2015-2016 school year as requested?
So moved.
First by Ms. Tanini, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Humberg. Are there any questions or comments? All right, then, hearing that.
I have a comment.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm certainly not opposed to hiring 2, but I do, if we decide we need a 3rd, I do want it brought to us, because I don't want to be short police officers. We love them too much.
All right, then, any further questions? Hearing none, then, all in favor of approving the additional lead officer and elementary patrol position for 2015-2016 school year as requested? Motion carries 6-0. Next on the agenda is the request to consider approval of administrative appointments, and I believe the first one is the assistant principal at Red Duke Elementary.
Yes, if you remember that we had that assistant position come open at the Christmas break. It's my honor to introduce to you tonight. We had, as that was happening, Ms. Jones and I were having conversations about the wonderful work she was doing in our curriculum and instruction department. But in her face and in her heart, you could just hear her voice that she really wanted to return to the campus, to where the kids were. And so as that position opened and things moved around, it's our pleasure to recommend Dixie Jones for that position.
Thank you. All righty then. Do I hear a motion to approve Dixie Jones as the assistant principal at Red Duke Elementary?
So moved.
First by Ms. Winterstrom. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Pickering. Are there any questions or comments? Hearing none then, all in favor of approving Dixie Jones as the assistant principal at Red Duke Elementary? Motion carries 6-0. Congratulations.
Yes, there she is.
All righty then. Moving on to the administrative appointment for Don Jeter Elementary, and that would be the principal position.
As you also remember in our last meeting, that position came open when Ms. Fox moved to take the Meridiana position. And so this is another honor for me that I get to introduce one of the finest gentlemen I know to take that principal's job, who I believe is going to take that campus to great heights. So it's my privilege to recommend Craig Rhodes as the principal of Jeter Elementary School.
Alrighty then, do I hear a motion to approve Craig Rhodes as the principal of Don Jeter Elementary?
So moved.
First by Ms. Tanini, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Metoyer. Are there any questions or comments? All right, then, hearing none, all in favor of approving Craig Rhodes as principal for Don Jeter Elementary School? Motion carries 6-0. Congratulations. All righty, we're down to the superintendent's report.
Just a couple of quick update items. Elementary UIL was held at Manville High School on January 29th through 30th. What a day that was to go watch our kids excel in academics and to see their excitement, the excitement on their face. And then Ms. Caffey, we really liked some of the outfits that they wore for the oral reading contest and those as well. And so Ms. Caffey and her staff did a great job of putting that together, and along with all of the elementary campuses and their coaches. And what a great day that was. And on that same day, and I'm not sure he'll live it down, but Dr. Brasenio had volunteered Alvin High School for the academic decathlon meet, and I'm not sure, can you show your face yet there? However, I do want to say this, that our high school received multiple recognitions of what they did that day to put that on. And I think my favorite story was when the kids came in that morning for breakfast, and they got a hot breakfast served by our culinary arts kids, cooking it right there on the spot. And the one kid looked at me and said, we usually get a donut and an orange juice, right? Something like that. However, on top of that, the Alvin High School decathlon team has also now qualified for the state meet for the second time. And they will be traveling on the schedule for February 26th through 28th. Where is that trip? To Irving. Okay, yep, to Irving, Texas. On National Signing Day, we had 22 student athletes from across the district who signed on February 3rd. And everything from, what was that, a helicopter drop to other things that celebrated that. But what a great day for our district as we celebrate our student athletes and as they continue on with their educational careers after high school. Our 9th Annual Health and Wellness Fair was also held February 2nd at Manville Junior High. I will say this, that you couldn't walk. It was so crowded. There were so many people, so many things going on, great things. And there's a couple members of this audience that had some physical checkups, which we were glad about, that they passed all those. Right, Coach Bass? Is that what we're talking about? And then the 100th day of school was February 4th, and multiple celebrations across the district. There are some candid photos of that day, and we've included a few of them up here, but we have even more if you need to see them, because those will be good at some point for extortion, I'm sure. I'm not sure. And then the last thing is that don't forget that a week from Saturday, Mustang Bio, the turtle race, the 15th annual turtle race. And so Saturday, February 20th, there's also a 5K family run and a kids 1K. And the schedule of events is there, but the turtles drop at at noon, right? Okay, high noon. So, and that's all I have.
Thank you.
And if you want a booth at the turtle race, see me.
That's right.
I will sell you a booth.
All right, on the agenda next are there any future agenda items, board members? All right, then hearing none, I think we're ready for adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn down there? Oh, Mr. Hubbard, I can always count on you. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Winterstrom. All in favor then of adjourning? Motion carries 6-0.
Thank you, board.
Yeah.